Good morning, everyone. Today is Tuesday, September the 26th, 2023. And I really wasn't planning on going live about this. I know y'all probably seen my TikTok about the bomb threat that happened at the G3 conference, but it seems like that this is starting to make some national attention. I know it made local news, excuse me, out in Georgia. I think a couple of the major news stations covered the bomb threat, and I was actually across the street. I wasn't at the convention, but I was across the street when I got news that there was a bomb threat at the G3 convention, and I was actually in the lobby of the Marriott Hotel when they started singing. So, good morning to Bay. That's wifey right there, Toya Murray Johnson. She was actually with me as well. So, Grace of Peace, Atlanta since 82. So, yeah, so to kind of give you guys my version before we actually get into this particular article from thechristianpost.com, I was invited to the influencer dinner, and this was like an invite only. So, April had invited us. I don't know if it was just April or if it was just some other whoever else orchestrated it. But yeah, April and brother Rick Caldwell and Jason from Dear Woke Christian, they were having this exclusive dinner for Christian content creators at the G3 after the G3 conference, but it was all affiliated and connected. But anyway, we were sitting there, we was eating. Sister Brie and Babes and her husband Lucha Cooney. They both got channels. We're all sitting there eating, just having a good time. And the next thing you know, they said, "Well, hey, they just had a bomb threat happen at the conference, the G3 conference, which was at the time across the street. They were getting ready to show a movie from uh, John MacArthur. It's called The Essential Church." Kiana says, so that's why everyone was so late to the meetup. Yeah, what happened was that we were going to have the meetup. That was one of the reasons why everyone was late. But then when we got there, the cops told us to leave because they had like this big tent set up. So we were supposed to do the whole meetup, the whole meet and greet after the dinner. I think it was from like 7:30 to 8. So after we ate, we were getting ready to head there. And that's when, Sister April, she was just like, they just said that there was a bomb threat at the G3 at the conference across the street where we were going to have the meetup, but it was going to be out in the parking lot under a big tent. So that didn't happen. But as we were, because my wife and I was like, okay, well, what the heck is going on? Should we leave the Marriott Hotel? Because half of the people had already left to go to the meetup. So we were just like, well, what are we going to do? So we just said, well, forget it. Let's just start, let's just try to figure this out. So as we started making our way to the hotel lobby to go out through the front doors to go to the meetup, then that's when everyone was inside, and they had just started singing. And I was like, what is this? So, of course, you see a bunch of Christians singing some hymns, and quite naturally, as a Christian, you gonna join in, especially if you know the songs. But it was a very inspiring moment, and I know that you guys probably saw my YouTube short or my TikTok short, that I did, and it was a very, very encouraging moment, especially to be with a bunch of brothers and sisters during a time where there was a bomb threat. Now, we are going to talk about this a little bit in this particular article. And then I am going to talk about some things that I've heard from the people who are actually there, things that were not mentioned in this particular article. But as we get ready to do that, number one, I need you guys to hit that like button. Hit that like button as we get ready to get into this live stream. And number two, I need you guys to take part in the vote, in the in the poll that I have set up in the live chat. All right. So I'm asking, if you were there, even if you were there at the G3 conference, would you have left the area during the bomb threat? And the reason why I'm asking that is because there was a guy, he left me a message and he said, and I mean, he wasn't, trying to be obtuse or anything like that. He was just kind of like, you know, it could have been taken as we were kind of testing God if the bomb threat was real. You see what I'm saying? Like, we should have got out of Dodge. We shouldn't have been there to test God if it was like a serious threat. So that's why I'm asking that poll. Would you have left? Or if you would have stayed, if you would have stayed there and sing songs or sing the hymns with us, or would you have, or you don't know what you would have done. That's why I put the maybe button there. Thank you, Donkey Bible Club, for the super chat. Thank you. All right. Rechurch says, right after Steve Lawson had a wonderful sermon about the sovereignty of God, everybody was strengthened. Oh, yeah. And I myself was not at the conference. I was only at the dinner, and I was going to go to the meetup. I wasn't able to go to the conference. I mean, I had a pretty busy weekend. If you guys have seen my Instagram, I kind of showed some pictures of, the things that I did this weekend. So I was pretty busy. I couldn't make it. All right, let's get ready to get into this particular article. And this is from the Christian Post. All right, let's go ahead and read this. It says, Christians break out in song after bomb threat forces evacuation of G3 conference. And that's the picture right there. And what's crazy is that wherever this picture was taken, I had to be pretty close to this person who took this picture, because this is about where I was standing when we were singing hymns. A bomb threat forced the evacuation of a gathering of Christians who remained cheerful as the unexpected development derailed their evening plans. G3 Ministries, an annual conference launched by Pastor Josh Boosie of Praise Mill Baptist Church that seeks to, quote, educate, encourage, and equip local churches with sound biblical theology for the glory of God, end quote, held its event themed, quote, the sovereignty of God, end quote, last Thursday through Saturday. And I've been to a few G3 conferences. And I mean, it's a pretty good conference. It's a pretty good conference. So, if you guys can go, especially if you're in the Atlanta area, I would say that, you guys should try to make it out one year. As attendees gathered for a screening of John MacArthur's The Essential Church Friday evening, a bomb threat forced them to evacuate the Georgia International Convention Center in College Park, where the conference was held. Shannon Paul Holliday, the director of the Essential Church, took to X Friday evening to announce that he was, quote, mic'd up and ready to go on to talk about the Essential Church movie, and a bomb threat came into the building. He noted that G3 has been evacuated, end quote, a development he referred to as, quote unquote, interesting timing. And from the stories that I hear, it does seem like it was interesting timing, because to be honest, this movie, The Essential Church, was, and again, this is a project that includes John MacArthur. This was a kind of controversial movie because it had to do with the COVID lockdowns, and how you had a lot of churches, including John MacArthur's, that refused to lock down their churches during the whole COVID-19 thing. And I know by the time I get finished with this video, you're gonna see a note at the bottom of this title that's going to talk about, COVID-19. And every time you mention something like that, like a COVID-19 or abortion, it always got a little footnote under it, kind of like their little quote unquote fact check. GV, grace and peace. Good morning. Good morning. GV says, I would have left the building, but stayed if people were singing songs and hymns in my hotel. Definitely been in prayer. But what happened? So the bomb threat was at the convention center, and the Marriott Hotel was literally across the street. I mean, it was just a stone's throw away. I mean, even me with my bad shoulder, I could have threw a stone and hit the convention center. All right, let's continue. But no, what I was going to say was that, yeah, it really was interesting timing. It really was, because I heard that right before they got ready to air the movie, or got ready to play the movie, that's when the bomb threat happened, But what I was saying was that this was somewhat of a controversial movie, and I think even some Christians had given some pushback to the context of the movie, because it kind of called out the churches that closed down, and they stopped having services because of the whole COVID-19 thing, Grace and peace, Paul. He says, we had just left and went to get dinner. Yeah, there was even some people that I went to church with. They said that they missed the whole. They didn't even know that we were inside of the lobby singing hymns and stuff. An update on social media shared the message sent by G3 Ministries Executive Vice President Scott Enoll, who wrote, quote, as most of you are aware, there was a threat this evening at GICC, but praise the Lord that all are safe. The individual who issued the threat has been detained, and authorities are currently clearing the building. No one will be able to get back into the building tonight, but any personal possessions left in the building will be secure, end quote. So while we were at the dinner, at the Christian influencer dinner hosted by the G3 and the Marriott Hotel, somebody had said that they had already detained a person, and a lot of people, they were just like, well, I didn't see anybody get detained. So we was kind of like mixed on that. And I was just like, rumor has it that they detained whoever the person was who created the threat. But after I read this article, and then I heard a couple of people who were actually there getting ready to watch the movie, they saw the person get detained. Grace and peace, Sister April. Grace and peace. Yeah, I was right by her. It was so funny. She was just like, well, I'm gonna let y'all know I got my pistol on me. So, all right, anybody can try whatever they want, but it ain't going down over here. But Sister April, she right after she heard the bomb threat, she started going straight to the meet and greet thing where the tent was. So she went straight out there. I thought she had left. So I called her. I'm like, hey, is it over? I mean, she was like, no, I'm out here by the tent. She's like, we about to do this meet and greet. So I was like, all right, cool. So me and my wife, we made our way out there. I thought she left, but no, she was just like, shoot, we about to do this. And like I said earlier, they shut down the meet and greet. The cops was just like, y'all got to get out of here. So we left, and then we went to April's house Sunday. My wife and I and a few of us. We had a pretty nice time at Sister April's house. But what I do want to say is that I do have a brother in the faith who also attends our church. He actually saw this unfold and take place. Now, this particular guy, from what I've heard from an eyewitness, like I said, the brother who was at my church, excuse me, he said that this guy, it was kind of crazy because this guy, he was there with his family. So it wasn't like he was just somebody who just wandered in off the street and did this, but they said that this guy was here with his family, which was kind of weird because he paid for the conference and then he turned around and went in and he did that. So that was kind of odd. Also, when I was watching the live stream from Berean Babes, because she was there as well, and she covered it. Now, she wasn't there when they was getting ready to premiere the film because she was with us. We were all at the dinner. Me, Sister April, Berean Babes, and her husband Lou. We were all at the dinner. But she covered this last night, and yes, just like my wife says, that there's been reports that this guy had mental issues. Now, what she said, just like Sister April is saying, that this guy thought that there was a lady who was there with the head covering. Um, and I guess this guy mistaken this lady's head covering for a hijab. And he was just like, oh, this lady must be some type of a, Islamic terrorist or something like that. And as soon as the guy saw her, he got triggered. And then that's when he said that there was a bomb in the building and all of that stuff. So yeah, correct. Sister April says this came from a reliable source. Apparently the guy had PTSD when he saw the Muslim lady with the backpack. Yeah, that's what I heard last night from Sister Berean Babes. So she did say that according to her source as well, that is what triggered this whole thing. So this guy made a claim about this lady who he probably thought was Muslim. And there are plenty of people, and I've met them, plenty of people who may live in the Middle Eastern area or in India, women who still wear head coverings, not because of any religious affiliation or anything like that, but it's just their culture. Women are just known to cover their heads up and faces. Well, not faces, but they wear like the head coverings. And apparently this guy thought that this was a Muslim lady walking around as as an surgeon or something, and she may have quote unquote had a bomb on her. So, just like GV said, yeah, that's sad. It's sad. Wow, I didn't know that she was an employee of GICC. So see, a lot of these, just a lot of facts are starting to come to light. Which I knew it would within a couple of days. Because as Christians, we ain't got nothing to hide. We try to be as transparent as possible, which is one of the reasons why I wanted to go live with this particular article. All right, let's try to see if we can finish this up in a little bit. Fox 5 Atlanta reported that the College Park Police Department arrested Timothy Mixon, 33, in connection with the bomb threat. He is being held at the Clayton County Jail. After the bomb threat forced them to evacuate the conference, several church attendees congregated in the lobby of the nearby Marriott to sing Christian worship music. Josh Busey, founder and president of the G3 Ministries, commented on the spontaneous expression of worshiping by declaring, quote, even in the midst of the moments of difficulty, God's people have a reason to sing, end quote. Amen. So this is one of the videos right here. I'm not going to play that because y'all need to be watching my YouTube shorts and my TikToks. You know what I'm saying? Because I got firsthand footage of that. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, if you guys did see the video, Paul Washer was like right there in the middle. He was singing with us. And then, like I said, I talked to some other people and they said that they wish they would have known that we were in there singing because they would have come over too. But again, as we are continuing this particular broadcast live, I want you guys to partake in the poll right now in the live chat. What would you have done in this particular situation? Would you have left that area during the bomb threat, or would you would have stayed and sang hymns across the street with us at the Marriott Hotel? Not trying to lead y'all, into answering a certain way, but I'm just asking because I have gotten mixed responses on that particular question. So far, 38% of you have said yes, you would have left. 31 said that you would have stayed, And 31% of you said maybe. You don't know what you would have done in that particular situation. So it's almost an even split down the middle. Oh, she said Bice, not Boosie. Sorry. I always mispronounce that name. But I mean, when you see that U in the middle of in that name, it's kind of hard to ignore that big old U in the middle of that name. Excuse me. All right. Sorry, I couldn't mute my mic. I was that cough was coming up. I couldn't mute. All right. Quote, it was arranged by God's providence, he added. I whistled to gain everyone's attention and stood on the table to address the crowd in the lobby of the Marriott, where hundreds of us among the more than 8,300 at the conference had gathered. I directed their attention to Scott Arnold, who left us as we began to sing God's praises. Everyone else in the hotel paused to take it in, both guests and staff. A truly amazing moment, end quote. Yeah, because there were some people who were sitting there at the bar getting lit. And yeah, they were sitting there at the bar, just turning them drinks up. And, you got the bartenders, pouring the drinks. And then, you got all of these Christians who come in there and they start singing these hymns and all of that stuff. And everybody's attention was focused on that crowd and that singing. And actually, I saw a couple of people at the bar, mouthing off some of the hymns. So I don't know. You never know whose life could have been changed at that moment. And I'm talking about people who were sitting at the bar who may not have even been a part of the G3, who may have just been staying at the hotel just at that time. Video footage accompanying Bice's post showed that those assembled in the Marriott lobby singing, quote, greatest thy faithfulness, end quote. While the bomb threat prevented the G3 conference attendees from watching the Central Church as a group, one of them took to X to indicate that, quote, every attendee got a personal copy this morning, end quote, as part of what she described as a quote unquote checkmate. Well, too bad I wasn't there. Now I got to pay the $19.99 on what's that thing called? What's that app called? I'm gonna have to look it up. What's the name of that app? Because I downloaded it when I wanted to watch Vodi Bakkum's documentary. I want to make sure I got the name right. Salem Now. So on Salem Now, I don't know if y'all can see this. Well, anyway, I'm not gonna post it. It's an app called Salem Now, and it's streaming on that for like $19.99. And I am gonna buy it, and I'm probably gonna watch that with the family. I was gonna watch it by myself, but I said no, I want to watch it with the family so we can all see it together. Good morning, Sheila Mahoney. Rechurch is Salem Media. Good morning, Sister Hefzeba. Good morning. Okay, I didn't read this part here. After Scott Arnold reported a subsequent update that, quote, there were no injuries or any harm to anyone, end quote, and that, quote, nothing of concern was discovered, end quote, the conference resumed Saturday for its final day of programming, noting that, quote, 8 different law enforcement agencies were involved in the clearing of the GICC, end quote. Arnold expressed gratitude for the efforts of the, quote, GICC staff, G3, and security and law enforcement, end quote, for their efforts. Quote, let us thank the Lord together that the threat did not materialize and no one was harmed. And I think that was the, I think that is the center of the message. That thankfully this was something that did not materialize or take place, because I mean, living in this world today, you don't know what people are capable of. And I mean, especially when it comes to like Christian persecution, let me tell you like this. If I pull up, I'm gonna do it. I've done this before. Let's go to the christianpost.com because Nigerians, if y'all don't know, Nigerian Christians are being slaughtered. They're being slaughtered weekly. And the Christian Post, and I mean, they have like an article, a couple of articles a week about Nigerians and Christians in Nigeria being slaughtered, especially by the Muslims there. You know, look at all of these articles. Look at all of these articles. Seminary student burned to death after failed kidnapping in Nigeria. 18 Christians killed, pastor wounded by extremists in Nigeria. Dozens of Christians killed in Nigeria by extremist herdsmen. Priest fatally shot in the back in Nigeria. And 25 churchgoers abducted from worship service in Nigeria. Pastor shot. Conspiracy of silence enabling Christian genocide in Nigeria. Catholic bishop tells Congress. Terrorists killed 9 Christians in Nigeria. Slain Christian son kidnapped. Look, 46 Christians killed by terrorists amid 2 days of attacks in Nigeria. And look at this. This is just going on and on and on. On and on. All I did was type in Nigeria, and these are all of the articles, and majority of these are from 2023, just this year alone. So when we talk about Christian persecution, and just because we live here in America and we're able to go to G3 conferences and we're able to walk around with our fancy little purses and backpacks and shake hands with other Christians and pull out our wallets and our cards and get all types of Christian material and stuff, doesn't mean that it's like that everywhere else for Christians in the entire world. I mean, we really got some brothers and sisters that are out here literally suffering and dying for the faith. So just because nothing really happened at the conference this year with this bomb threat from some guy who had PTSD, stuff like this we got to take seriously. Because let me tell you like this, the enemy does not sleep. He doesn't. And the only reason why he can't put his hand on us is because of the sovereignty of God. And if God allows the enemy to touch us or to destroy us, then God still gets the glory because we still die for his name. And plus we get sent to glory faster, you know. But trust me, if anything happens to us as Christians, whether in life or death, the Lord is faithful. And that work that he started in you, he's going to complete it. So this is why I was very encouraged by the singing of the hymns inside of the Marriott lobby, because it was just a reminder in that moment of how sovereign God is and how he controls what happens to us, not the world, not the devil, you know. But all in all, I had a really, really great weekend this past weekend, because Friday I was here at the post G3 conference and the dinner, met with Sister April. Actually, it was my first time meeting her face to face. You know, I met Brother Rick Caldwell, Jason of Dear Woke Christian Channel, K-Dub. I met K-Dub. He was there. And, you know, it was a pretty great night that Friday. And then Saturday night, my wife and I, we attended a conference, not a conference. We attended a gala at the Atlanta Morning Center, which is a place that is a great resource for pregnant women. And babe, if you're still watching, what is the Pregnancy Resource Center? It was like the birth ecosystem or something. I mean, because they're just like, they're not really a pregnancy resource center. They are this birth pregnancy ecosystem thing. And I'm sorry that I can't remember. I'm going to have to study that, what they say, what their organization is all about. But anyway, they had a gala. It was a fundraiser event. and we're trying to raise some money so therefore we can continue to provide services and connect women with places that do, pregnant women, single pregnant women who were considering abortion, because y'all know that the media is just like, if you're a single mother, especially if you're black, if you're a black single mother and you don't really make that much money, you need to go down to the clinic and get an abortion. So for women who are saying that, hey, I need some help and I really don't want to abort my baby, I just need some resources. I need, doctors. I may need Pampers, formula. I just need some help. I may even need help with childcare and daycare. And my wife, she's a doula. She's the doula for the Atlanta Morning Center. So my wife will provide doula services for those type of women. And they had a gala, so we was trying to raise some funds, and we're going to be doing that for the rest of the year to kind of keep that thing going. And then after that, Sunday, we were at Sister April's house, and we was just chopping it up. Her her husband was throwing down on the grill, and Sister April dropped the macaroni and cheese, y'all. Oh man, she had macaroni and cheese all over the kitchen, and I was wiping noodles off my forehead, and the kids was just like, "Mom." I was just messing around. No, it wasn't that bad. It was just a little bit that spilt. But yeah, we had a really, really good time at Sister April's house, and she said it was a disaster. No, it wasn't. It wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad. But the macaroni and cheese was good. Actually, I didn't have any of that macaroni and cheese. My wife did. I don't know. Dang, I should have had some of that. I don't know why I didn't eat any macaroni and cheese. I think I was full by that time. They had so much food there, but it was a great weekend. It was a great weekend. Despite the bomb threat at the G3 conference, that kind of foiled our plans a little bit. But God is good and God is sovereign. But anyway, guys, let's get ready to get up out of here. I got to get ready for work. And before we get ready to go, y'all go ahead and take part in that poll that I got in the live chat. I'm asking y'all a question. Would you have left the area during that bomb threat? All right, so far, 38% of y'all say yes. Oh, such ye of little faith. 29% of you said no, you wouldn't have left, and 33% of you said maybe. I'm just kidding, about those having little faith. I'm just kidding, It's all up to everybody's own conviction. Sheila says she wasn't invited. Yeah, you weren't invited. We definitely not. Actually, we could have invited you, but maybe you would have been asleep. You would have been asleep at that time, Sister Sheila. There ain't no way you would have came out there at 7:30. Oh man, you was already bundled up by that time on a Friday night. You wouldn't have been there. I was just messing around. Or you talking about you wasn't invited to Sister April's house? Well, see, we didn't leave Sister April's house till about 8:30, so it would have been past your bedtime anyway. You would have been asleep anyway. She would have left at 5. Like, child, I'm tired. I need to get back home and get some sleep. You would have missed the macaroni dropping and everything. But anyway, man, before we get ready to get up out of here, may y'all go ahead and hit that like button. Rate, share, comment, subscribe. If you haven't subscribed yet, hit that notifications bell if you have subscribed. So therefore, whenever I get ready to go live, you guys would be the first ones to be here. And you guys will be the first ones to see my content as soon as I upload it. And with that, I'll see you guys next time, Lord willing. And I hope that you guys have a blessed day. All right. Peace.